Okay. KTT, new episode every 2 weeks. We are back. And before we get into it proper, like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Episode 11, we starting. I'm Drift. I'm joined by my co-host.
Xero. Wagwan man them.
Let's go. And we are going to talk about what? JJK first?
Yeah, man.
Why not? All right, cool. That's how we feeling. So, we're just going to start out the gate. How you feeling about his return? By his return, I mean, obviously, for my anime-only JJK supporters, my anime-only JJK fans, you may want to, I don't know, cover your ears. You feel me? Because it's about to get real spoilery.
Stick your head in the sun like an ostrich.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Real ostrich, baby. You get me? Because it's about to get heavy. You know what I'm saying? Real Eminem shit. But okay, cool. How do you feel about his return? And by his return, I mean Gojo.
You mean Utah?
No, I mean Gojo in quotation marks.
It's Gojo over.
You get me? It's Gojo over, my
It's
nigga.
Gojo over.
You know what I'm saying? It's done. So how you feeling? What are your thoughts?
Okay, so right. Let's not BS ourselves here. Right? Everybody and their dead grandma saw that Gojo was gonna come back. The setup was there.
Okay.
This kind of return though, nobody could have foreseen that, and I applaud GeGe for that like plot twist.
Okay.
However, I feel like it's just, prolonging the Sukuna cycle shit, essentially.
Really?
Yes.
What do you mean?
I mean, sure, it's a fresh take on it, right? But it's still just the same shit. So he takes out some Sukuna, by he, I mean Sukuna. Sukuna takes out somebody noteworthy last chapter, and then this chapter, somebody else jumps in to kind of like help Yuji and whoever else happens to be there at the time.
Who's still on pitch might do, you know what I'm saying? So Yuji and Todo are still on pitch right now, you get me? But yeah, go on.
Should we give Yuji the MVP?
What do you mean? Why?
Bro's had the longest survivability on the entire map, but I mean, maybe it's because Sukuna's not taking him seriously, like treating him as a threat. Like,
I mean,
he's starting to now.
I feel like I was gonna say, boy, like if Sukuna wasn't taking him for a threat, like, bro, if Sukuna wasn't taking him for a threat, that was definitely pre me landing 8 fucking consecutive black flashes in your chest piece, my nigga. You feel me? Like,
currently trying to grip your heart, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I had that nigga stressing. You feel me? I had that nigga stressing. So yeah.
So, but in our serious now, back to the question: how do I feel about Gojo coming back? As I said, it doesn't feel like an ass pull, right? Because as I said, everybody knew he was gonna come back somehow. You know what I'm saying? Either through his own RCT and what that lady back at the hideout's doing or whatever. But we expect him to come back. The twist being Utah. And again, sorry if you haven't caught up with that, but this anime podcast, episodes out every 2 weeks.
We're gonna cover what we're gonna cover. You feel me?
You understand? Sorry? Like, we're talking about the most recent and freshest shit.
Like the most recent shit. You get me?
At the point of recording. You understand? And that's the most recent thing.
And that's how we do it. You get me? But yeah, you were saying.
So, yeah, Utah being the one to return the body though didn't foresee that twist coming. It makes sense how he did it, given his own domain expansion abilities, his ability to like copy other people's abilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was all there. How am I feeling about it really? I can't say that I'm ecstatic.
Why?
Hard to put into words, really. You know what I'm saying? I always said I kind of want my fights, definitive. More of a 1v1 kind of thing.
Yeah.
So let's not dig too deep into the weeds of that. This doesn't feel like that. You understand? And then there's always there's already like
So by definitive, do you mean do you mean like you were kind of hoping that the fight
Gojo in Gojo's body won the fight? If he wins the fight, Gojo in Gojo's body wins the fight. Definitive. Not this whole mind body switching thing.
Oh, so that's the aspects of it that kind of
sounds like so it's like I'm not really like gassed with the fact that it's Yuto flesh mecha in Gojo. You understand? Like not really ecstatic about that. But...
And how do you feel about it in terms of writing? Do you think it's W writing or L writing? You get me? Because there are a lot of people, myself included, that are kind of like split on the writing itself. You get me? Because there are men who are like, this is just kind of wrong. You get me? Like bringing back Gojo in this sense, right? While having Yuto actually be the one piloting the body. You feel me? Sorry, pardon me. And for those that don't know, Yuta has used Kenjaku's technique to transfer his brain into Gojo's now dead body. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we mean by piloting Gojo's body. You feel me?
He's flesh mecha in that shit, bro.
So he's flesh mecha in that shit. You get me? But Yeah, but the reason I asked the question is because there are a lot of people in the fandom that are kind of split on the writing in regards to that. You get me? There are those that feel like, yo, it's fucking wrong that you brought back Gojo, quotation marks, you know what I'm saying, in this fashion. You get me? And then there are the other half of the fandom, and I can't lie, I do sit within this camp. It's like, it's the exact bro, my kind of English right now. It is the exact like catch-22 you were looking for, or at least somebody like me was looking for at this point, because what I was getting bored of is just the Sukuna cycle, like you mentioned earlier, like another nigga popping up and you just get swat aside by like 2 chapters time.
But there's already word in the street that that's basically what happens.
But obviously we don't know that as a fact. We don't know how that happened yet.
Fair.
You get me?
As I said, at the point of recording, we just kind of talk about the most recent shit.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, we don't, and even in regards to what you're like likening to, you know what I'm saying? It's still not somebody being swat off the pitch. It's just nigga might be dead. You get me? Like Utah. You get me? Like that's what I'm saying. So the nigga might be dead. You feel me? But to get back to the initial point, I was gonna say, I sit within the group of the fandom that think W writing. You get me? Because the fact that nobody saw it coming is exactly why it's W writing. Okay. You get me? Because nobody kind of foresaw that Utah, like as dope as Utah's seen in the fandom, you know what I'm saying? There's Yuji, Utah, Gojo, them, you know what I'm saying? Cool. As dope as Utah is seen in the fandom, nobody kind of foresaw him taking the steps that he took in the most recent chapter. You get me? Like nobody foresaw him taking it that far. Of all the niggas there, nobody foresaw him taking it that far. You get me? The question on everybody's lips up to that point was, okay, cool, what is the significance behind letting us know, yo, Gojo's body was taken from the battlefield and shit? You know what I'm saying? And for a lot of people, they were like, is it Gojova? Yes, nigga, it is Gojova, but it also isn't. You get me? Yes, nigga, it is Gojova. If we're talking about the character, the individual, Gojo, yeah, that nigga fucking out of here. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to like tell niggas, you feel me? But the catch-22 of bringing back Gojo, again, quotation marks, yeah, but in reality serving you up Yuta in the body, damn, good fucking move in my opinion. All you niggas that said you wanted Gojo back, yeah, you got Gojo back, but not in the sense that you wanted it. You know what I'm saying? Not in the sense that you wanted it.
I mean, we're still going to be down 2 powerful players by the end of this, by the looks of it. So, I don't know. I'm ambivalent to it. I'm not going to say like I'm like, fuck that, you shouldn't have done that. And I'm not like, yeah, not to be writing. I'm literally ambivalent to this. But like you quite rightly said, nobody saw that one coming. So, you know.
So I mean that does nothing for you whatsoever. It's just like, whatever, yeah?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Like right now,
fair enough.
Listen, the thing about me is right now I'm looking at the pro tag, who's supposed to be the pro tag, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing about this?
What more does Yuji need to do in like the most recent chapters for you to like look at him as the pro tag? Because by that it means that, okay, cool, you still don't feel like Yuji's putting like enough work?
They just put back Gojo on pitch.
And prior to that,
because clearly he's not up to snuff.
Prior to that, who was the only person boxing with Sukuna for a cool little second?
Bro, I just gave him the accolade.
So you understand? So then,
you understand? So like, that's what I'm saying. So he's the one I'm looking at. And I was like, all right, cool. Now here's your chance to fight with Gojo.
But marry those 2 points, bro. It's like 1 point you're saying, yo, he doesn't get enough shine. But in the other point, you're acknowledging that for the local piece that we've seen in boxing with Sukuna, he's clung
in the longest. But we also have to acknowledge, along with that, is the fact that it's probably because Sukuna wasn't treating him as like 100% the biggest threat on the pitch.
Because Sukuna was being jumped by multiple people, yes.
Precisely, you understand? So first it was like him and Higuruma were dealing with the fight first. Then it was him and I think it was him and Yuta right after that. Then him and Maki.
So by what metric do you define somebody being like the MC? Like what would Yuji need to do in order for you to feel differently? Because to me, hold on, let the boat land, nigga, let the boat land. You feel me? Because up to now, I was of the same mind that you were. I was like, damn, this nigga Yuji needs to start doing a bit more. But since you pulled up with the whole new armored looking hands type shit, right, I'm like, nigga, you've been here and you've been locked in, or as much locked in as you could be. You get me? So I'm like, okay, that's how I feel. Why? If you feel differently, why?
No, but you're saying like, what more does he need to do? I'm like, bro, all right, cool. It was his moment to shine. I'm looking at this as it was his kind of moment to shine, and we've now put back Gojo in it. You understand? And we know that Gojo Yuta is going to overshine anything he's been doing.
Will it though?
I feel so.
Okay, well, that remains to be seen. So, okay, yeah, cool. We're going to round off the JJK segment here. My final thoughts, or if you have any final thoughts to add yourself, yeah. My final thoughts, perfect catch-22, W fucking right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I ain't going to hold you. The fact that, like, the fact that you kind of had everybody thinking, damn, Gojo's back. The simple fact that you had niggas thinking Gojo's back, oh, it's him in the smoke. The fact that you had that and then you still gave them Gojo, but it wasn't, I'm like, W fucking writing. You get me? My only thing is this, it's like, I'm curious, how exactly, like what will Yuji and Todo be doing, like, for the next couple of chapters? You get me? That's the only part of it that I'm like, what will you man be doing? But at this point, I don't think that you'd write it this way for no reason. So I'm locked the fuck in. You get me? Like, I'm locked the fuck in. But
let's see.
But
you got Yuji Gojo, Yuta Gojo, and Yuji and Todo. Todo can swap anybody or anything he wants, like all that kind of stuff. Let's see how that meshes, innit?
Yeah, man. But yeah, for closing thoughts from moi, W fucking chapter. I ain't gonna lie, I'm locked the fuck in. Waiting for the next thing. I'm here for it, but I can't lie. It's been the most interesting chapter for me in like a cool fucking second. So yeah, man, we're gonna round off the JJK discussion here, and then come back with the original segment next.
Yeah.
Once again, KTT episode 11. You know what I'm saying? If you're still with us up to this point, I do hope that you've liked, comment, subscribe, one of the three. You feel me? But you being here at this point is still love. In this part of the segment, we're gonna have like another original segment again. You feel me? And I'm gonna throw it to my dog Xero, and I'm gonna let you take point, man.
All right. So this segment, I just kind of wanted to have a discussion on basically where we see things with the big three.
Okay. And tell the people then what you mean by the big three.
So the big three. All right, cool. So for those not in the know, the big three refers to the three most popular manga at the time, right? And you've had like different iterations of this, but the most prominent one would be the One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach era.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the big three. When the term even, for me became popularized, those were the big three.
Yeah.
And there'll be man that would argue that, Bleach was never in the big three and whatever.
I'll give your damn self.
You try to tell me what the hell was in the big three instead of Bleach.
Nigga, anybody watching anime from like 2010, like I'll say from like maybe even slightly before that, like 2009 up to about 2013, 2014, any anime website you went on, there was a reason you saw Ichigo there. There was a reason you saw like a Hollow Master. Do you know what I'm saying? Because those anime websites are usually trying to push the most popular anime. Bleach was a part of the big three. Anyway,
right. So, so we had various iterations. The old school one, sometime I've seen like, Dragon Ball, Kenshin, and Yu Yu Hakusho. I've seen that, before that's a big three, the OG big three.
Yeah.
Can't really put much stock in that boy, but I've seen that.
Yeah, before my era, I can't lie. Yeah.
Yes, and like, so I can't really speak to that specifically. I've mentioned the era that I'm most familiar with, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach. And then we move forward, One Piece is still here, Naruto's ended, Bleach has ended, and some new stuff kind of like
cropped up in the place. Cropped up in their place.
Cropped up in the place. You understand? So we're looking
at
it
youngins.
You understand? We're looking at it like it was Black Clover and Demon Slayer at one point. You understand? Then it was MHA and
Black Clover.
And Black Clover. It was MHA and Black Clover. Sorry, I mistook it. Yeah. Then it was like Demon Slayer. Then it was like JJK. Right?
Yeah.
Now, the main reason for me really wanting to have this discussion is we know that One Piece is in its final stages.
Yeah, we were in the latter part of the 8th.
And so basically, like, we're going towards endgame now. So maybe next 5 years, 6 years, One Piece.
So all you niggas making the jokes that One Piece is so long, hey, you count your fucking days. You feel me? Count your days. It's getting corny. We're going.
Cool. MHA just ended.
Yeah. On the next pod or something, we're gonna talk about that. But yeah, go on.
Right. So MHA just ended. The final chapter isn't out yet, but we just wrapped up the big fight.
The spoilers.
Seemingly. JJK, which I would consider kind of part of the big three now, because
I wouldn't even say
manga wise and anime wise, it's not all people talk about, but its name is banded about pretty, widely.
I would definitively call it a part of like the most recent big three, whatever that might be.
Whatever that might look like. So exactly. So that's kind of like a part of the discussion. Like, do we even still have a big three?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do we still have a big three?
To me right now, no. I don't think we've had a big three. I don't think we've had a big three, ironically, since Bleach has ended. Yeah. I know a lot of niggas won't like. A lot of niggas ain't gonna like to hear that. You get me? But since Bleach ended, as in definitively ended, and by ended I mean, okay, cool, for anime watchers only, when you stop watching Bleach, that's when Bleach's popularity took a nosedive, and that's when the whole discussion of whether or not it was in the big three became debatable. You get me?
Okay.
So when I say Bleach is ended, I'm talking about for the manga niggas as well. You know what I'm saying? You know about their 1,000-year blood war arc, all of that shit. Yeah, cool. Once Bleach ended, that's when the big three, as I would understand it, stopped being a thing, because Bleach was one third of that era's big three, that being Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. You get me? Bleach ended, Naruto was still active, then Naruto ended, we have Boruto, but Naruto Shippuden ended, yeah? And that leaves only One Piece. Who would be the other two to like take the roles of Naruto / Shippuden and Bleach? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm like, to me, a big three hasn't really existed since since Bleach has ended. You feel me?
Ended.
Yeah.
So we're talking, so the anime, just to clarify again, so the anime or the manga?
I mean, to me,
the anime ended, I think, 2012.
Yeah, I mean, the anime ended before the manga, definitely. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I would say the 1,000-Year Blood War arc.
From the end of it.
Yeah, so from the end of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc,
yeah,
that's what I classify as Bleach's ending.
And Bleach's ending had its own issues as well. There was like rushed pacing and all kind of stuff.
All of that.
Loads of theories, you can look into that.
You know what I mean? But that's what I would consider to be the end of Bleach.
So you say we don't have a current big three then?
I mean, if we do have a current big three, it wouldn't include any of that era's big three. Like, I'm not sorry, my nigga, but I'm not putting fucking, for example, I'm not putting JJK and One Piece as part of the big threes. One Piece is a part of a separate big three. You get me? Like, its peers have already finished, and there have been no works that have come close to its peers. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I enjoy JJK, but you are fucking kidding yourself if you think I put JJK on the same level as either Bleach or Naruto. Sorry, I just don't. You feel me? Sorry. If you wanted to ask me what I would consider or considered the most recent big three, I probably would say gone to my head. Bruce, drop them off if you know, you know. You get me? MHA, Black Clover, and JJK.
No Demon Slayer?
No. The only reason I don't say
didn't last long enough.
It didn't last. I wouldn't even say that it didn't last long enough, because how long it lasted isn't to its detriment. You feel me? But Demon Slayer goes hard in bursts. You feel me? Like, there are like pockets of time where it's really popular, and then periods of silence, and then pockets of time where it's really popular. To say nothing of the fact that it's never kind of returned to the initial popularity that it had. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't forget, when Demon Slayer first came out, for a brief moment, it eclipsed One Piece in sales.
Right.
You get me? But it's never really returned to that. So that let me know, don't get me wrong, people still fuck with it. People did like actually love it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like sustained hype in the way that, like, say, JJK. You get me? Like, both manga and anime, niggas are eating. You get me? Whereas Demon Slayer, I'd even venture to say niggas don't even care as much about Demon Slayer's manga as like they do about the anime. It's because the animation for Demon Slayer is fucking beautiful. You get me? Like, it's something that people are willing to just sit and wait for the seasons for. You get me? Like, they aren't even too in tune with, like, you don't see too much anime YouTubers covering the fucking Demon Slayer manga religiously, for example. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
obviously it's finished. No, I'm talking about obviously it's finished now. I'm talking even back then, like when it was coming out and shit, like when it's still on its rise, you didn't catch people covering the manga for it religiously. You feel me? But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the big three thing. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's fair enough. I kind of want to pick your brain as well and to see if you consider Boruto as, like, you know, a viable option for the big three, but you already said you don't believe in it.
The most, I'll put it this way, when the time comes for that discussion, Boruto is definitely a part of that discussion once you get to 2 Blue Vortex. You know what I'm saying? Like, once the time comes to discuss...
Careful, your bias is showing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, once the time comes, yeah, for that discussion of where fucking Boruto sits in its own big three, if it's even a part of a big three, yeah, its moment of validation, in my opinion, will definitely be 2 Blue Vortex going forward, because everything pre that, it's debatable. There are moments that, like, there are periods of heat, and then there are periods of what the fuck am I looking at? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't sign up for this bullshit. Whereas 2 Blue Vortex, listen, nigga, it's been straight heat. You feel me? So that's why I'm like, if when the time comes for that discussion, spicy. You get me? When the time comes for that discussion, and we're talking about where Boruto's place should be, we're gonna use 2 Blue Vortex, or I will use 2 Blue Vortex to kind of validate why I feel like it should be a part of whatever big three it's in. You get me? But right now, I just feel like it's still a little too early. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were to look at, say, the hype of Kagurabachi, yeah.
All right, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's actually one of the ones. So I also, you know, looked at a couple and I thought, all right, cool. If anything's going to take a slot in, like, whatever the big three is currently, it might be one of these couple, a couple of these,
I mean,
one of these.
Yeah.
So Kagurabachi is definitely up there.
I feel like a man making a discussion for that being a part of a big three. Currently, you're wild, but future potentially.
right? Kaiju number 8.
Currently, you're wild. Future, potentially, but I've heard and seen good things about Kaiju number 8.
Pretty much the same thing with Kagurabachi. So Kagurabachi, Kaiju number 8.
There's no, but the reason I say that is because obviously Kaiju number 8 has been animated.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I'm like, cool. We don't know how Kagurabachi comes across animated yet. You feel me? So if niggas want to give it all the love in the world based off the manga numbers, fine, I won't hold you. You get me? But Kaiju number 8, there's manga and animation to judge it off. You feel me? So that's why I'm like, I've seen good things in the manga and I've seen good things in terms of animation. Kagurabachi, I've seen that it's doing numbers, but then there are periods of time where I don't see nobody talking about it.
True.
You get me? So I'm like, when that gets animated, we'll see what that's looking like. Yeah.
In all fairness, I haven't seen any of these 3. Last one would have been in Sakamoto Days, which is also getting an anime. So that kind of speaks to you know what you're saying about Kaiju number 8. So you have a manga. The manga does good numbers. A lot of people seem to really like it. You're getting an anime now, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, if anything, I was gonna say, you know, just kind of 3 series I thought might take a slot in the big 3.
Yeah.
Less so Sakamoto Days, you know, like I'm fat for because fuck on this one. So like I said, the MC never grabbed me, but you know, it's like if John Wick gained 300 pounds after marrying his wife and had a daughter and all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's whatever. The fight scenes look cool, and I can tell it's gonna be like probably like bloody and shit. But
as my only point on this one, you know me, I live and die on the fight scenes. You get me? So like, if I had a mind to watch it and the fight scenes were good, sure, why not? You get me? But we all have our own reservations. You get me?
No,
but yeah,
so,
go on.
Yeah, but yeah. So definitely Kagurabachi, definitely Kaiju number 8, and maybe Sakamoto. I could see possibly being a part of the big 3, depending on, you know, when JJK ends. MHA just ended, and One Piece maybe has about 5 years left in it. But yeah, so that's just one of kind of like, you know, discuss the big 3, what it is, and you know
what it's looking
if
like.
we even still have one at the moment.
One, and I feel like that is a fair discussion to have, because I honestly sat right now. Obviously, we're gonna close up the segment. You get me? Get to move into the next one. We're gonna be talking about some One Piece, but to tack off or to cap off this part. I just think it's kind of hard to pick a big 3. Like, a nigga would really have to sit down and really make an argument to me about what the current big 3 is.
Okay.
You get me? Like, a nigga would really need to sit down. I'm not talking about you necessarily, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about anybody. Anybody would have to sit down and really explain to me how we have a current big 3 that is as valid when we said back then we have a big 3. Naruto, One Piece, Bleach. You feel me? So, yeah. Yeah, that's my thoughts. You feel me? That's my thoughts on the big 3 discussion. You have anything else to add to it?
Nah, that's it.
Now I'm gonna wrap it up. Yeah. W segment, I ain't gonna hold you, you know what I'm saying? It was a Zero's idea. Fire fucking segment, my nigga, I ain't gonna hold you. So we're gonna close out this segment, and roll into the One Piece. Damn, I could have said sail into the One Piece segment there, fam. You get me? Notes for the future. You get me? Notes for the future. But yeah, cool. We'll catch you in the next segment. And the next segment is now. You feel me? We are in the future. You get me? The next segment is now. We are talking about One Piece. You get me? And I'm going to start off the discussion picking your brain. You feel me? And by extension, the fandoms. You get me? To whoever's been thinking about it. What are your thoughts on the Mother Flame being Uranus?
The Mother Flame itself?
Yeah.
Not so much.
Explain.
The fuel for Mother Flame, sure.
Explain.
Huh?
Explain.
All right, cool. So the Mother Flame is a derivative, if I remember correctly, of the Ancient Kingdom's technology. That universal power source that they had, that's powering the giant robot right now.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah? Cool. The Mother Flame itself is that thing that Vegapunk has in his lab. So that's the Mother Flame.
I believe the thing that Vegapunk has in his lab is like a portion of the Mother Flame. You know what I'm saying?
But it's that thing, right?
Yeah.
And then we know that probably that fucking bitch York.
All my niggas
siphoned, fam, fuck York. All my niggas hate York.
All my niggas hate York. Yeah, all my niggas hate York. But yeah, go on.
Fat bitch. Boris, bro, she brings out the worst in me. She's bringing out the worst in me, fam. Like, I cannot stand you. Like, when she was revealed to be like, when there's revealed to be like a traitor, I'm like, but why? You understand? And obviously Vegapunk himself had that whole greediness in him, like wanting money, but in a you know, scientific, like I need funds to run my shit.
Yeah.
You just a greedy bitch off the back of it, fam. Like, I mean, real big back activity for no good reason.
Like, but what makes me fucking sick about, and this ain't nothing to do with the fucking Mother Flame anymore, you know what I'm saying? God damn, we done moved on, yeah? But what makes me, bro, like, what really, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, listen, nigga, you know what I'm saying? What really kind of pissed me off about York, I'm like, fam, you stabbed the gang in the back, fam. You stabbed the gang, you stabbed yourself in the back, fam, because you two are also Vegapunk.
I've never seen Self Hatred quite like
this, bro. Shane, it really be your fault. It really be your own.
Be your own people. I'm telling you, sometimes your own people.
Nah, it really be your own people. You feel me? It really be your own people, nigga. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, man, like when I found out that she did all of that shit just so she can become a celestial dragon,
and they're likely blam her in her head like, the minute she gets it.
Like the fact
you know about it as well. I don't need you.
But the thing is this.
I mean, they kind of do.
I was literally gonna say. So I'm like, I suppose the insurance comes in the form that okay, cool, you kind of need me in the assumption that we kill all the other Vegapunks and we blam the fucking Straw Hats. You need me, a Vegapunk, to replicate the Mother Flame. Do you know what I'm saying? Cool. But that doesn't change the fact that your motivation as a Vegapunk, like fuck that. It's not because you're a Vegapunk. Anybody in the world of One Piece with an understanding of what the Celestial Dragons are, that aspires to be one of them, I'm like, bro, what?
Look up for a video on the Celestial Dragons from me on the BlackStarXero channel in the near future as well. But carry on.
Obviously, stay tuned for that. You feel me? So once again, look out for a Celestial Dragon video, BlackStarXero's channel. But yeah, to get back to the discussion, G. What really irks me about her and that situation is the fact that you betrayed all of that just to become a celestial dragon. It's like, bruv, what they represent in the world, what about that would you want to emulate? What about that would you want to be like? You get me?
All right, let me pose the question to you. To Luffy and most pirates,
keep in mind, yeah, a lot of people don't even know what celestial dragons are.
Fine,
so it's a
no, they know. They don't know what the Goros say and fucking all that. They know what a celestial dragon is.
By know what a celestial dragon are, I'm talking about cause you barely see them.
Yeah,
that's
enough.
what I'm saying. So like,
okay.
Most people don't even know what a celestial dragon is. You feel me? So to an individual that does know what they are and what they represent, to want to be a part of that to me is fucking wild. Like you are wild,
right?
Wild, but yeah,
you just amoral as fuck. But again, the point I'm trying to make is to Luffy and certain man, being a pirate, being able to go where the fuck you want, eat what you want, do what you want, is true freedom. Guess who also has that ability?
Who?
The fucking Celestial Dragons. They get to go wherever they want, do whatever they want.
But by and large,
whatever they want.
By and large, you could make the
and
argument.
she can she'll have all the fun the money she'll need for the experiments, and she'll have unlimited food. Again, real big back activity.
But I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think Vegapunk, like, don't forget, York represents his greed. So like her job, each of the Vegapunks, each of the satellites have a function. Her job is simply to like the bodily fucking function. So she eats, shits and pisses for them, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think her motivations are super scientific. I think it's really just like greed transformed into like wanting to be like a luxurious, like living in luxury type
living
shit.
the life of luxury, basically.
But to me, you can achieve that without wanting to be a celestial dragon. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to kiss celestial dragon ass, you know what I'm saying, and be opposed to pirates, you could just join the Marines. And you'd be very high up in there, given who you are. You feel me? But wanting to be a part of the Celestial Dragons, it's like, bro, if you want to tower that much above the fucking world, my nigga, knowing what they represent.
I feel it's just the right. I have no better word for it right now beyond just like the freedom. Like, you understand? Them niggas get to do what the fuck they want whenever they want. And again, I feel like she just wants that for herself.
And again, I mean, don't get me wrong, that is likely the fucking. I mean, that is likely the rationale she's operating on. You get me? Like the ability to
nobody can tell them what to do. Literally nobody.
Like, none of you niggas can fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also talking on, okay, cool. If that was purely your motivation, yeah, and you had any morals to like to speak of, nigga, you didn't have to fucking you don't have to be a celestial dragon. You get me? Like you don't have to be a celestial dragon. You feel me? So that's my whole thing with fucking York. But moving on, you feel me?
Yeah, sorry. Let me answer your question quickly. Thoughts on the Mother Flame? Uranus' Mother Flame? No, I believe it's the fuel for the Mother. I believe the Mother Flame is used as fuel for Uranus.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the Celestial Dragons and the Goros say they have their hands on at least one of the ancient weapons.
That being Uranus, yeah?
That being Uranus.
So we think that's what blamed the Lucio.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm rolling too. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
From the time I saw that was my thing.
I was like, yep,
that's
It's
Uranus.
in the sky, one in the sky, one in the sea, and Pluton. You get me? Can't really vouch for
Pluton, but
you get me? One in the sea, one in the sky, lasers from the sky, nigga, that's an ancient weapon if I've ever seen one.
Pluto, isn't Pluto Hades?
Pluton.
Yeah, I know, but isn't Pluto Hades?
I mean, yeah, but how
the underworld? Underground?
I mean, cool, calm.
There's that theory out there as well, man. Look at
it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was like, you know what I'm saying? You land that, boy, you feel me? Thoughts on Nikka? So do you think Nikka was a real entity at any point?
Possibly.
Because we now know for a fact, right? Whereas before, we used to conflate Nikka with Joyboy, we now know that Joyboy was a separate individual to whoever Nikka or whatever Nikka is.
Yeah.
So if Nikka is real, what's your thoughts? Like, do you think it's actually a god, or do you think it's more so like an individual?
I don't think actual gods exist in One Piece.
Neither do I.
But then again, what do I know, bro? They have aliens in it, but different day.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Cool. Do I think Nikka was a real person? Yes, I do.
A real person, yeah?
A real person.
Okay.
Right? And the reason I say this is because his lore is mostly tied to Elbaf. Okay? And until we really get some time in Elbaf for some debrief, I don't think we're really gonna learn much about Nikka, right? The other thing is his name is the Warrior Liberation, and we know that there was like some slavery thing back then as well. You understand? So like that's where it probably come from. You understand? If you look at his outfit, well, it seemed very primitive. The silhouette of him seemed very primitive.
The silhouette of
Nikka,
you
not Joyboy. We got the Joyboy one now. Yeah. So now we have like, bro, man, to move very quickly. I love you all sometimes. You understand? The internet just moves so fucking rapidly. So we now have all three of them in silhouette form in some way, shape, or form. Right?
So you don't think the fact that like the silhouette that we're using for Nikka right now, the fact that Luffy hit it as well perfectly in Wano, but Luffy himself is considered more so a Joyboy. Like a lot of people more liking him to Joyboy than Nikka. You don't think that kind of has something to do with that?
So your suspicion is that Joyboy mantled Nikka then?
I mean,
bringing some Elder Scrolls lore for you there.
Yeah. That's some Elder Scrolls shit right there. Niggas said mantling, you know what I'm saying? Alright, cool. So hands up. I suppose what I'm saying is this. I think Nikka is a god, but not like a real god in the world of One Piece. You know what I'm saying? Because much like the real world times, you know what I'm saying? In ancient times, more primitive times, when people went through hardships and shit, they usually attributed those hardships to a god.
Right.
You get me? So that's why I'm more thinking, I don't know if Nikka wasn't a real god.
But here's the thing. Here's the other thing, right? And I'm sorry to cut you. Why I'm putting stock in him being a real person, if it was just the epithet sun god Nikka, I could lean into the mythology. But you also have the other one, warrior of liberation.
I was gonna get to that. So I was gonna say, cool. So I don't think Nikka itself is like, and the key term, that's why I say itself, not himself. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Nikka itself was a real entity. I think the fruit was named after Nikka, and what the fruit's quality gave the eater allowed the eater to become the warrior of liberation, i.e. Joyboy and current day Luffy. You get me? So I don't think Nikka was a real entity, and that's just my personal headcanon. You feel me? Like, I don't think Nikka was a real entity so much as it was like a god that slaves fucking worship because they were slaves. You know what I'm saying? Not too dissimilar to real world shit.
So you're saying that
what I'm saying is I don't believe Nikka is a real entity. I believe it was a god that slaves worship because obviously when people go through hardship, they try to like attribute that to gods and shit. You feel me?
Okay.
I feel like the fruit was simply named after like this sun god, and whoever consumed the fruit once it was awakened gained the fucking whole war of liberation.
So we'll go. There's 3 definitive uses and just not 2 then.
What do you mean 3 definitive users?
3 silhouettes. 3 users.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now, right? I feel like the silhouette that you see for Nikka was only used to kind of, I'll put it this way, when Luffy hit himself as well, it was kind of to loop it back to, okay, cool, he is also this version of fucking Nikka. You get me? You see him hit the exact same pose. You get me? He's Joyboy, he's the warrior of liberation.
Kind of strange that, don't you think?
What?
When Luffy hit that fucking Zo, when Luffy hit that Zo said Joyboy, or during that thing he mentioned Joyboy. But Joyboy, when you finally see him, he's not hitting that. He's got a whole different, more Luffy looking pose.
You see what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like, I feel like the pose that like the silhouette that we see for Nikka, I think it might just be there to kind of let you know, yo, once the fucking, like, once Luffy awakens and you see him hit that pose, like, it's that time now that we're really closing on like the Nikka Joyboy aspects of shit, you know what I'm saying? But that's my final thoughts on it there, yeah.
My take is we're just looking at 3 separate time periods. You know what I'm saying? So we're looking at 3 separate people. Because fair enough, because Nikka had the spear and the sword and it looked like he's wearing like some grass skirt thing. You understand? A more primitive look.
Like you might be putting too much
a more primitive look. And obviously that then sits with you know, that then becomes significant to the Giants. That's why that's there. Then obviously we get the Nikka, we get the Joyboy one, seeing him taking on the 19, 20 kings.
Yeah, whoever
the fuck they were. You understand? And we get Luffy when he activates Gear 5. You understand? Am I saying all 5 of them had to be in Gear? Well, yeah, they were all wearing Gear 5, or whatever the fuck they called it. But yeah, I think we're just looking at 3 different time periods.
I mean, I'll put it to you this way, like using like your rationale, right? Why is the silhouette that we have for Nikka not got the
sash thing?
Like you know the awakened the fucking sash. Smoke thing? Yeah, the awakened smoke thing.
Yeah.
In Joyboy silhouette, we see it. When Luffy awakens, we see it. In the silhouette for Nikka, it's distinctly not there.
That's fair.
That's fair. What I'm saying.
But we can't refute the fact that all 3 of them have the same hair. So it's not like there's no overlap whatsoever.
Yeah, there's no overlap, but that between the 2 that we have, between Luffy and Joyboy, there is stronger connections there, both in visuals from what we can see in like Joyboy's silhouette and how Luffy looks in Gear 5, as opposed to Nikka. Like
we could go around it because there's similarities and differences between all 3 of them.
Okay. Well, I mean, I the last thing I'm gonna say is this. I think the only similarity between Nikka and the other 2 is the hair. You get me? And I feel like if you were trying to tell me that was an awakened form, you drew the smoke fucking.
Maybe it was no concept to Oda yet.
Really, nigga? By the time
I'm
period,
not trying to.
By the time period that this nigga came out with Gear 4, Gear 5 was not an idea to him yet.
Huh?
By the time period that this nigga came out with Gear 4.
When we first got the goddamn silhouette,
any of the gears.
When we first got the goddamn silhouette, Haki weren't even a fucking thing.
Any of the gears.
Exactly. Gear 1 wasn't even a fucking thing. It was just Gomu at the time.
Any of the gears. I'm just like, gang, so you're telling me, okay, cool, we'll play your game, right? So, even after all of that, you wouldn't update the silhouette?
Huh?
You wouldn't update the silhouette?
But they have updated the silhouette.
So Nikka's silhouette now looks like he has the smoke.
No, why are you gonna do that? Because that was set for like back in the day at whatchamacallit there. Is it Shandora or whatever? I believe it is.
Alright, cool.
So, no. You're not gonna update that. That stays the fuck where it is. That stays where the fuck it is.
What I'm gonna say is this, but I feel like you'd be more intentional with your depiction of these things. So me personally, not personally rolling with the idea that there were 3 separate entities. I think one of them was more like an iconography for a god, and we have 2 confirmed users. That's what I'm rolling with currently until like something more definitive comes out. You get me?
I say 3, but do let me know what you man think in the comment section. Do you think there was 3 people that had the Hito no Mi fruit, or do you think it's only 2? Also, what do you think about the big 3? You know, let me know if you still think there's a big 3, or do you think that, you know, that time has passed? And also with JJK, you know, is it Gojo over? Do you see Gojo making another comeback maybe? You know, do you accept that, you know, it's Yuta's turn now?
It's fucking over, nigga.
It's over. It's Gojo over. All right, cool. Man, you let me know what you think in the comment section, yeah?
It's Gojo over, nigga. But yeah, obviously, it's been KTT episode 11. I've been Drift.
I'm Xero.
Man, we'll catch you in the next episode. You feel me? Slightly longer one than usual, but shit got passionate. You feel me? Catch you in the next one, though. Love.
Bless.